this is weird. Fittingly, it comes from the Daily Beast online, and it's the weirdest story. I know that a lot of racists are into Norse mythology. I guess they like the hammer of Odin and some of the real Aryan stuff from way up north, right? And I think another reason that the racists love, the clans people and the crazy people like Nordic religions, is because it is not an offshoot of Judaism, as is Islam and Christianity. But if you have been paying attention over the past number of years, you notice more and more of these skinhead freaks and the neo-Nazis and the white supremacists have been gravitating towards Odin's hammer. Well, guess what? The FBI arrested, according to the Daily Beast, the FBI arrested 2 young men in Virginia yesterday for planning to start a race war by burning churches. However, the white supremacist cult that they belong to, various cults like this, are all the rage in parts of Southern Virginia. This one kind of slipped up on me. I usually, since I live here in the South, I usually am at least aware of these various psycho cults that pop up every now and then, but this one kind of blew by me. As the Daily Beast puts it, Viking-inspired white supremacists trying to terrorize black Christians in the South are not as rare as you think. Well, I know white supremacists, the racists, the Klansmen and all their filthy, stinking dreck have been terrorizing black Christians and black this and black that in the South for 350 years. But Viking-inspired? These 2 clowns who were arrested, Robert Doyle and Ronald Chaney, that figures, allegedly subscribe or ascribe to an Icelandic pagan faith called Asatru. I think that's how you pronounce it, A-S-A-T-R-U, Asatru. That apparently, according to the Southern Poverty Law Center, has a disturbingly large following among white supremacists. This particular faith doesn't seek to endorse or promulgate racist or anti-Semitic views, but you could be forgiven for thinking that it does, given its strange appeal to Nazis and other sundry bigots. Now, the religion itself, Asatru, is a pagan religion that draws on Norse mythology. It is related to Odinism, not Onanism, but Odinism. There's a difference, according to the Southern Poverty Law Center. And they use, some of the terms used are used interchangeably. The SPLC notes that Odinism, it just sounds like some kind of self-abuse, doesn't it? Odinism. What'd you do? I was just Odinistic and Odining around today. Odinism, which has ties to Asatru, played an important role, however, in some corners of Nazism. Southern Poverty Law Center had these people on their radar scope for a long time, and recently they wrote, the Nordic Teutonic mythology was a bedrock belief for key Third Reich leaders, and it was an integral part of the initiation rites and cosmology of the elite Schutzstaffel, which supervised Hitler's network of death camps. So now we have, I'm sure a lot of the members of this are oath keepers, huh? You know, that group of former military and former law enforcement who say, well, we're going to keep our oath. When the niggers rise up and the Jews rise up, we're going to kill them. Oh, and don't forget the atheists like that goddamn Mike Malloy. Anyway, Nazi affection for Asatru wasn't a fluke. This guy, David Lane, who a white supremacist terrorist who died in prison, promoted the religion while he was in prison. And in 2002, the Anti-Defamation League wrote in a report that it was one of the faiths that incarcerated white supremacists found most often. Now, these two guys arrested yesterday for allegedly trying to start a race war may have met in prison, where all were designated by prison officials as white supremacists while they were in custody. ADL notes, quote, according to the FBI, the suspects were adherents of a white supremacist variety of Asatruism, Odinism. Now, they're not the only young white males who are. How do you wind up this way? I used to be a young white male. A lot of the people who listen to this program were young white males and did not wind up like these sick sons of bitches. How does it happen? I still can't get my mind around it, how this sort of thing evolves in a person. You know, they start out as a sweet little boy and wind up a werewolf worshipping Odinistic white supremacist. What happens? A couple of years ago, Maurice Malloy pled guilty to arson, specifically to charges of, get this, unlawfully entering property of another with the intent to damage and maliciously destroying or defacing church property. He tried to burn down an historic black church, the 135-year-old Mount Pleasant Baptist Church in Virginia. The fire didn't injure anyone since the building wasn't occupied, but it cost $1 million in damage. Yada, he was sentenced to 2.5 years in prison. And according to social media screenshots on the Fools of Vinland blog, Malloy goes by the name Hjalti and is part of a group based outside Lynchburg, that's the name of it, Lynchburg, Virginia, this group is called Wolves of Vinland. Wolves of Vinland. When the Daily Beast reached out to the group via Facebook messages, the person who runs the account replied, "It doesn't matter who we are. What matters is our plan." The Schulstaffel. Matthias Wagoner, a prominent member of this group, described it as an Odinic wolf cult. This freak in Virginia said the group practices animal sacrifice. They haven't advanced yet to humans. He said, it is a tool that can heighten the function of the human mind to a state where it can open doors that appear closed or not existent to the normal states of observation. In this type of ritual, you are sacrificing the life of the animal to achieve this state in order to gain the wisdom beyond those doors. With this wisdom, we increase the effectiveness and potential of our actions that will in turn bring glory to ourselves and to our gods. This reconciles the practice back to one of Odinic sacrifice of blood and life for the attainment of knowledge to increase the life of those sacrificing, end quote. What a bunch of snot-nosed, hog-filled garbage. Jesus God.